The story begins with John being asked a math question by his teacher. He admits he doesn't know the answer. His teacher keeps pushing him and believing that he actually knows the answer. John finally gets the right answer. He is actually smart but doesn't have good self-confidence. At home, not much conversation takes place between his family. However, his family is very kind to him. His father surprises him and gives him a drone as a toy. The next morning, he flies his drone around his house. The area around his house is a woodland area. The drone falls between the trees and gets stuck. While searching for his drone, he finds a hole deep enough but he ignores it. While trying to get his drone up in a tree, he falls and is injured. At lunch, he confesses to his father that he lost the drone. His father is a little mad at him. He can't believe that the drone he had just given to him the day before is already gone. This is hard for John to accept. He then asks his parents about the hole he found. His parents say it was a bunker to use in case something bad happened, like a hurricane. However, the bunker was not completed due to a lack of funds. His father did not know in detail who owned the land or the bunker. John looks like he has a lot on his mind. His mother asks if he is okay. He admits to his parents that he is just tired. John is taking tennis lessons. While practicing, he is seen trying hard to follow what his coach tells him to do. At home, he throws a tennis ball to the wall and catches it again. He does it over and over. The sound it makes bothered her sister, Lori. She tells him to stop. He refuses her request. He says he can't stop himself and she has to make him stop. Finally, she catches the tennis ball and kisses John's forehead gently. She does it so he will not get angry. John finally agrees with the request and stops making noise. In the yard, he has a chat with his gardener, Charlie. He tells his gardener that there is a spider on his back. Charlie says that it is a good spider that protects plants from pests. Soon Charlie is bitten by the spider. John offers him a drink and he agrees to have a lime. John adds a drug to the drink. It seems that he wants to test the effect of the drug. After drinking the lime, Charlie falls. John tests Charlie's consciousness by poking him with a stick. He does not wake up. That way he knows that the drug is effective. He tucks the wages into Charlie's pocket and leaves him. Later that night, John plays a video game on the internet connected to his friends. He seems used to playing with his friend. It is seen from the conversation between them who do not hesitate to say rude things. They have a love-hate relationship with each other. When all his family is asleep, John takes them one by one to the bunker. It seems he gives them the same drug he gave to Charlie the gardener. On the other side of the story, there is a little girl named Lily. She tells her mother that she dreamed of becoming a blue balloon. No one can see her because blue is also the color of the sky. Her mother tells her that her father also had a blue car. They do not know where the father is or when he will return. Her mother then tells her the story of John and the hole. The story goes back to John's family. His sister is the first to wake up. She then wakes up her parents. The three of them wake up in the bunker. They are panicked and confused. His father also questions where John is. The three of them are trying to scream for help, but because the bunker is in the middle of woodland and far from the housing area, no one hears them. At home, John practices imitating his parents' voices. He then calls his gardener, Charles. He tells him not to come to his house again because his father wants to take care of the garden himself. He then drives his father's car to take money at the ATM and buy some food. Arriving at home, his neighbor comes and looks for his mother. He tells her that the other family members are visiting his sick grandfather. She does not suspect anything and believes him. John goes to the bunker and his family is relieved to see him all right. They ask him to help them, but he stays still. They finally realize that it was John who put them in the hole. They are mad at him. They question the reason for John doing all that. But John keeps quiet and just throws the food he bought earlier to his family. Inside the house, he is back to playing video games. He offers his friend to pick him up so they can play together at his house. Meanwhile, in the hole, the other family members try to reach the surface by supporting each other. They fail because the hole is too deep. His family is having an argument. The father is determined to get out of there and not eat the food that John gave them. However, the sister and mother begin to give up and they choose to eat the food. Inside the house, John practices the piano alone. The day is almost dark. It starts to rain heavily outside. The rain makes the hole in the bunker wet and dirty. This also sets the family cold. The next morning, John returns to the bunker. His family asks what made John do this. John is still mute by himself. He just throws them blankets and flashlights in order to survive. At the appointed time, John picks up his friend using his father's car. His friend gets scared because John is speeding. He tells him to slow down. At the swimming pool at home, they play a weird game to drown each other. They believe that drowning can make them see the figure of the Virgin Mary. After swimming, they continue to play a tennis video game. In the bunker, the family is desperately defecated in plastic. The plastic is then thrown outside. They begin to think about people who know them and are likely looking for them. His mother remembers that John had asked her what it was like to be an adult. He thought it was a normal question, like John's other questions. John also once asked why pool water didn't taste like water. His mother replied that we never actually grow up. Being an adult was like being a child with many responsibilities. He felt Josh was disappointed by that answer. From there, they understand that John can't wait to grow up and do whatever he wants. That is why he tried to get rid of his family. Inside the house, John had a fight with his friend, causing their food to fall. He also plays with the food he has. This is so contrasted to the situation in the bunker, where the mother eats a banana peel because she is hungry. She cries because it tastes so bad. When it is getting dark, John is seen playing alone. He flies his drone over the bunker to see the situation there through the camera on the drone. His irritated father whispers to the drones to leave them alone. The next day, John takes his friend to the ATM and shows him how he draws the money. He wants to impress his friend and give him a lot of money. But his friend is not impressed and says he does not want to buy anything. His friend chooses to keep the money instead. Then he took his friend home. Inside the house, the neighbor comes back. This time she is suspicious of seeing John's house in disarray. She asks him and he says that a cleaner will come. Feeling lonely, John asks her to stay. He suddenly says that he is 13 years old and asks her age. His neighbor refuses to answer because that was a rude question to be asked. John guesses that she is the same age as his mother, which is 50 years. John asks her what it is like to be an adult. She finds this very strange. She then tries to call his mother and finds that his cell phone is left at home. She is sure something has happened and immediately leaves John. In the bunker, his father interrogates his family. He thinks something must have happened, so John did what he did. They confess that nothing happened. The desperation is increased because the drinking water has started to run out. On the other side of the story, Lily's mother says goodbye in a hurry. She said that she had been picked up. She thinks it is time for Lily to live and decides her own life. Lily disagrees. She is only 12 years old and doesn't want to decide on her own life yet. But nothing can change her mother's mind. She only asks Lily not to stop going to school. She will leave her enough money to live for a year. Lily begs to come along with her, but she says no. Her mother asks her to live independently and not be an assistant to anyone. Lily is finally completely left in shock. Returning to John, his suspicious neighbor arrives with a cop. They can't enter the house because the door is locked. They check the situation around the house. The house looks empty. Even so, John is actually aware of their presence and hides in his house. During tennis practice, his coach tells John that he is not ready to join the qualification program to be a professional athlete. John does not accept that. He tells him that he is ready. He has also been following the prescribed diet. His coach keeps reassuring him that he is not ready. He asks John to train harder like a pro. He said that tennis could be his life. John also wants that to be his life. On top of everything, he wants to be himself. In the bunker, the families are starving. It has been 2 days since the last time John brought them food. Her sister thinks John is trying to kill them, but her mother keeps a positive attitude toward John and wishes him well. John's father says that is the first time he felt hungry. He feels like a hungry dog. Outside the hole, John is looking at the hole and seems to be thinking. At home, John is getting sick. He is vomiting. He then goes back to playing the drowning game in his swimming pool. At that moment, Charles, the gardener, comes into a panic because he thinks that John was drowned. Charles was initially working next door. He wanted to visit John's parents to see how they were. John tells him that his parents are not around. Charles said he will be back the next day. John is wondering why he wants to go back the day after. He asks if they owed Charles anything. Charles is confused as to why John is asking this. He later says that his family owed him nothing. Lonely, John tries to make him stay and impresses him by saying that he cooks risotto. But Charles does not understand that and just says that is a good thing for him. He leaves him immediately. Inside the house, John cooks alone. He follows a video tutorial from the internet. Meanwhile, in the hole, his family tries to divert their minds by playing tongue twisters. They then see John is coming. His family still asks him why he did it. They say that they will not punish him if he releases them. They have understood his point by doing all of that. John remains silent and lowers the risotto he had previously cooked for his family. He is using a rope and a bucket. He ties the rope to a tree. His desperate father tries to climb the rope, but John cuts it with a scissor. When his family eats, he also eats from up there. He also gives them a bottle of wine in the bucket. The wine is addressed especially to his father. He also drinks wine for himself too. He tries to make a point that he is a grown-up. His tired parents just let him. As they are eating, John finally opens his mouth and tells them his story. He adds a story about his tennis practice achievements. However, his family does not respond and lets him talk to himself. That night John is alone again. He is bored and plays with the lights in his house. He ends up driving his father's car in a confusion. In the morning, before the sun rises, he visits the bunker and sees his sleeping family near each other. He starts crying. Lori wakes up and asks him what time it is. He says that he does not know. His sister still pays attention to him and asks about his tennis practice. She thanks him for the risotto, which they thought was delicious. She also apologizes to him without knowing why. She wishes that could soften his heart. As the sun rises and both of the parents are awake, a ladder is finally lowered. They are confused at first but still walk out of the hole. When they see the swimming pool, they panic because they see John floating. They think that he is drowned. But John is fine. He was only playing the drowning game. And as might be expected, he failed to see the figure of the Virgin Mary. On his face, he looks sad. Like his other questions, he again fails to find a satisfactory answer. After what has happened, the bunker hole is immediately covered with soil using the help of heavy equipment. In the evening, the family eats dinner as usual without any conversation. As if nothing has happened. The day goes on as usual. At the end of the movie, Lily, who turns out to be Lori's daughter, is left by her mother, wandering alone around the bunker location. It is because of the trauma Lori had, so that she doesn't want to let her child do the same thing as John did. She wants to give her independence, but is it the right thing to do? What do you think? Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.